Hey guys, I hope you're all having a wonderful day and welcome to Operation Improvise, where two new operators have been added to the table, Amaru and Goyo. Today we're going to specifically be talking about Amaru, the grapple girl, and how to play her. So this is just from experience for the last couple of hours of playing her and watching her early gameplay. And these are the tips I just want to give you. Obviously, over time I am going to learn more stuff about her and give more tips and tricks. So maybe I can do an operator mastery down the line. So if you're interested in that sort of stuff, make sure to subscribe. I'm also going to do a how to play Goyo. So if you're interested in that, then make sure to subscribe for that. Okay, so Amaru is a 2-speed, 2-armor operator. She comes equipped with IQ's LMG and the Supernova, which Habana has. She also comes equipped with the SMG-11 as a secondary and the shotgun that Mirror has. Me personally, if you're wondering what the best loadout is, obviously it does come down to personal preference. Me personally, I use the Supernova as the primary and the SMG-11 as the secondary, just because I feel like you can do more with the SMG-11. The SMG-11 is more aggressive, and then you have the Supernova just to use as a shotgun to open up the floor, to look down on the objective, or open up hatches so you can grapple up. So that is for my loadout. The best operators you can have in a team, so synergy between operators. Make sure to have a lion can be useful, a thinker can be useful, a Dokkaebi can be useful, and a Habana can be useful. So a lion can be useful just because when you line scan, just because like the vibration noise is really loud, so they're not going to hear the barricade break open and they're forced to sit still, so they can't rush over to the barricade. Thinker, just because when you do go in, you are boosted and you can be really aggressive. Dokkaebi, just because the same sort of aspect as a lion, you can call, they're not going to hear a thing, they're going to hear their phone vibrating, they are going to have to decline the call, and they're not going to expect you just to fly through the window. And Habana, because obviously those reinforced hatches, you can get rid of them, and then you can grapple up. So the most important thing to know about Amaru before you get your hands on her is droning. Droning is the most important thing for Amaru. If you do not drone, what's behind that barricade before you go head on straight through that, you're gonna die. Make sure you drone in the prep phase. If you're planning to go through a certain barricade in the prep phase, make sure you drone out what's behind it. See if there's a cap can trap, because there is a new meta. Everyone is going to play cap can, because you need a cap can to stop Amaru from just flying through windows, and people use cap can to synergize with Goyo, so the cap can's pick rate is probably going to go really high, so that's really important to make sure you drone. And obviously if there is an enemy there, there is a massive duration from having to land and pull up your weapon and being able to shoot again, so that's really important. Also, just make sure you use all 4 repels wisely. Yep, you do have 4 repels in total. You can only rappel to like the same level as you or higher. So if you're on a roof and you're looking at a barricade that is lower than you, you are unable to fly through that. So you can only do the ones at the same height as you or higher. That's another thing to remember. And yeah, as I was saying, make sure to make use of all 4 grapples wisely. Just because, like, if you just waste one just getting up a little ledge that you could easily just default repel up, and then that's going to get rid of your repel later in the round if you ever need to rotate or get up a hatch or anything more important, that can be game changing. There are different types of like play styles with Amaru, I've noticed. So there's like the aggressive type where you, like I said with the droning, you drone in prep phase. Make sure there's no one behind the window. Make sure there's no one behind the window, and then just as soon as you have spawned in, you run, grapple to the window. You're in the building within 2 seconds. The enemies aren't going to expect you to be in the building so quickly. And then you just hunt down the roamers, or just literally rush to site depending where you spawn. So that's the aggressive type, where you just rush, just basically ash rush aggressive. And then there's the other type where you kind of get rid of the roamers, like you support anti-roam is the word. So this is where you deny the enemy roaming. So if they have a like vigil that's roaming, well, obviously you won't be able to drone him out. But if it's just any roamer, Jaeger, whatever, make sure you drone him out or have a jackal on your team that get information where the roamers are, and then you can repel to a window that is near them, that where they won't expect. You get into the building, take out the roamers, and then just rotate around the building. Also, another thing to mention that can be quite useful is when killing the roamer or just any enemies, you can then just quickly jump out, repel to another part of the building, and the enemies are not going to expect that because you just killed an enemy. They're going to expect you to rotate a certain way, and then all of a sudden you're behind them. So that's really good. Make sure you rotate wisely with her. And yeah, so also with the, I just want to mention again, with the SMG11, if you do decide to use the SMG11 over the LMG, make sure you practice the SMG11 recoil, because that thing does go through the roof. But practice makes perfect, right? So I pretty much learned the recoil. I can get headshots from a mile away, no flex. So obviously the loadout does fit different play styles. If you're hunting roamers, and then maybe it is a good idea to maybe use that LMG. But for the aggressive type, I would recommend the shotgun and the SMG11, the supernova shotgun. And apart from just rotating through windows, yes, she can go up hatches, but you have to be really careful when to do this and when is the right time. Just because I feel like just because Amaru has come out, people are going to expect it. So the second they hear a hatch is open, they're just non-stop going to watch it. So like I said earlier, make sure you drone out what's on top of the hatch. You can use the hatch to rotate. The thing with Amaru that is good is the enemies are so used to watching a rotation. But then again, because it is the start of the season, you are expected to see an Amaru and goyo every round. But this is like for when we're like weeks in and you don't expect Amaru. She's good for rotating. I feel like that's the best thing about her. She can rotate really well. Because defenders are just going to watch like the rotation you're most likely to come from. Like how Canal, you have the bridge on the left and the bridge on the right. They're just going to watch rotations. If they last saw you kind of cross the map. So they're going to expect you to either cross both of the bridges. But if you jump out and then go through a window behind them, they're not going to expect that. So I think the most important thing about Amaru is rotating. So make sure map knowledge is really good, knowing what's behind each barricade, and just pretty much learn your rotation. The whole thing behind Amaru is just pretty much scaring the defenders. The second they know that you are playing Amaru, they are going to be scared of every window, every entrance. But you just have to make sure they don't have a cap can, they don't have a frost, everything like that. Just make sure they do not have anything like that. So it may seem like if you play her and you're just going through windows and you're just getting killed instantly, that is probably because it is the start of the season. People are going to expect it, but you just got to take it slow, man. I feel like when we're kind of like a month in, like, and less people are playing Amaru, they're not going to really expect it. But yeah, that's all the tips I can really give so far. Obviously, like I said earlier, if I do learn anything else, I will make a new video, Operating Mastery. So if that's something you would like to see, I'll cover more in-depth guide, I will do that. This is obviously just from experience, just for the last couple of hours, so I may not give the best tips, but I just wanted to give a guide out there for the people that are new. And yeah, so subscribe if you want a Operator Mastery for Amaru. A goyo how to play will be later this week, hopefully just as soon as possible. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. More like this is to come, and I hope you all have a wonderful day, and goodbye.